Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. Feliz martes, feliz terça-feira. All right, today was squat day. Had a pretty good squat day. 225 by 5 by 5 off the 12-inch box with the safety squat bar. Everything went pretty well. Did some step-ups to warm up into that. No complaints, feeling good. Mostly. My left knee is a little janky still. That's the one I nailed into the asphalt a few weeks ago. It's got some weird feelings sometimes when I go to, flex it. I don't think there's anything terribly wrong, just some residual inflammation and stuff that's just putting some extra pressure on that nerve and making it feel weird when it moves certain ways. But still able to get my work done, still able to, be strong and old at the same time. So I was doing squat today, right? Thought crossed my mind. I think it might have crossed my mind before, but it's worth reiterating because I haven't said it on video, which is I find it funny that there's certain camps, right, that say, these are the lifts you should do for these reasons that are somewhat tautological. What I mean by that is that they're very self-fulfilling. The logic to them is a bit circular. Not to say that the advice is bad, but the reasoning could use some help. Nonetheless, the one thing I find kind of funny is that camp is very much anti-sumo. So much so that there was like memes about it, like a decade ago, like, how sumo is cheating and stuff. And those have kind of propagated even until now. But I think anyone who's done both, like a regular conventional deadlift and a sumo deadlift, will tell you, sumo deadlift isn't like it isn't cheat mode. If you deadlift 500 pounds and you say, oh, let me just change my stance and switch my grip out, you're gonna pull 600. No, you're gonna struggle at 400 because it's a skill and it trains the body a little bit differently. So with that being said, I find it funny that that same group is very much a proponent of the low bar back squat. And I think the low bar back squat is really kind of the sumo deadlift of squats. It's got a wider stance. As prescribed, you cut the depth off as soon as the hips cross below the plane of which the kneecaps occupy. And, that's basically it. And you're doing a lot more adductor work, which is a lot like sumo. It's a wider stance. It's a little less ROM. Got some more adductor work. Kind of weird, right? Because if you do front squats or regular, high bar back squats, do stuff like I do, right, where you're dropping your hips even lower, where your butt's all the way to the floor, A to G, so to speak, like those. That's more range of motion, right? It's going to rely more on the quads, a little less hamstring. It's not going to be as much adductor. That kind of stuff. They all have merit. So the reason I bring this up is because I think it's funny to kind of dig on a certain lift, like, hey man, that lift is it doesn't have a lot of value. You should only do this lift this way. And then have that same reasoning to like, this is the way we should squat, when that squat form that you're prescribing has very similar elements to the deadlift form that you're against. So it's a bit contradictory in terms of the whole argument of why to choose one lift over the other. The end of the day, for most general trainees, what you should choose is the one you like the best, the one you're going to continue doing. If you like pulling sumo more than, conventional, do that, man. Do like I do. Do trap bar deadlifts. They're not cheating. They're just different. I don't do regular back squats. One, my arms don't want to get into the position to hold a barbell on my back, so I do these safety squat bar squats. It's still work. It still adds up. It still builds muscle. It does all the things I want it to do. I'm not going to get hung up on, an inch extra range of motion or, it's slightly different angle of the joint and all this kind of stuff. I just want to stay healthy. I want to stay mobile. I want to stay strong. and I'm picking and choosing things that work well for me, that don't push me towards injury, and I have enough interest in that I continue to do them. So basically what I'm saying is that to have an absolutist logic, or to be somewhat tautological in the way that you're going to prescribe a regimen that approaches how thou shalt lift, you got to be very careful, because absolutes, we know this from mathematics, absolutes are going to be generally wrong. Absolutes in reality don't exist, except for death and taxes. Those are the only two we know we're going to get hit with. But the rest of it, like who should pull sumo, who should do this, what's your anthropometry, whatever, all this kind of stuff. Whatever, man. Do what you want to do. So you're out there in the gym, hitting reps, getting good weight on the bar, moving forward. That's all you need to worry about. All right, so just some thoughts while I'm doing my own preferred variation of squat, after a day of doing my own preferred variation of deadlift with a different variation of squat, because I'm just doing what I want to do so that I enjoy the session. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me staying as strong as possible, mobile as possible, and as healthy as possible. So there you have it. There's the secrets, right? Do the lifts you think works well, do them through as much range of motion as you can support, increase that over time if you can, and just avoid injury and stay interested. That'll help you be consistent, and that'll help you get strong and stay healthy. All right, so with all that jibber jabber said and me telling you what to do with your lives, which is really do whatever you want, I hope you had a great Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Feliz martes. Feliz terça-feira. Espero que você tenha ótimo dia. I hope you have a great day. And, get into those gyms, hit those goals, and get swole. Peace.